Hey, it's Dr. Dare with a life note. A lot of us are walking around with unprocessed trauma, right? And trauma could be anything. It could be not getting enough attention from your mom or dad, or being abandoned by your mom or dad, or, um, witnessing some tragic event or something that has left an imprint on you. And you will always view things in your life from that trauma perspective or that trauma lens until you've worked on that trauma with a therapist, or you've processed that trauma. And so it may come out in your reactions to things. You may overreact to something that most people would be like, oh, I'm good with that. I'll give you an example. And I was just reading a book, and a guy was waiting for his wife to pick him up from the airport, but she waited till the last minute and called his cell phone and was like, I'm not going to be able to pick you up. And so he was like, okay, never mind. I'll just get a Uber or a taxi or whatever. And so he got the taxi, and then he went home. And then he gave her the cold shoulder. He was not talking to her. She asked how he was doing. He kind of gave her a grunt or a growl, and that lasted for like 24 hours. It's like holding a grudge, and you're like, okay, well, what does this story have to do with trauma? So he traced the way he was responding to that situation back to when he was from a foreign country, and something happened to where him and his family had to move to this unsafe area. So his mom allowed this woman who they didn't know take him to a safe place, and to protect him. She did it to protect him. But in his mind, that was kind of like, you just left me and abandoned me. And so when he got back in connection with her, he was kind of like upset with her. And, that little thing that his wife did triggered his past trauma. And that is how trauma works sometimes. We react to people in our lives based on our past trauma. Remember that when you're reacting to something and you sit back and you have to process things. That's why I always do that. I try to process why am I acting this way towards this thing? Is it valid, or am I overreacting, or am I reacting from a past trauma? Let's heal. And this is my friend Terrell's shirt line and company. And let's heal.